So we are here with Alex Urbaniak, a real estate developer, lifelong surfer, and we're here in Playa Tamarindo at the lovely Pongus restaurant at the Tamarindo River mouth. So not a bad spot to be having coffee and talk a little bit about Tamarindo, your development, and what we're into. Alex, you're from South Africa.
That's true. Yeah, I was born with a Polish dad and an English mum, and I was born in deepest, darkest Africa.
In what part of South Africa?
In Cape Town, which is the only place you want to be born, right?
There you have it. Okay.
Cape Town's gorgeous. Yeah.
And you started surfing when?
I started surfing when I was about 10.
10 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. When was the first time you surfed J Bay?
Oh, Jeffreys, I surfed when there was not a house in sight. There was maybe one little shack at Jeffreys Bay that belonged to a really good friend of mine, Sharon, and she was one of the founders of actually Billabong in South Africa.
I just read the Mickey Dora book, and so I read about her as well.
She's amazing. So. Sharon's a good friend of mine, and we go back, and there's a whole history and wave of phenomenal people from that time. Yeah, when Jeffreys was just amazing, like Terry Fitzgerald, and I can name a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. So from South Africa, what transpired from there?
Well, it's complicated because as kids we were brought up in this very interesting environment. You know, we had this thing called apartheid, which is, you know, a massive subject, and it unraveled itself, and we had a little bit of a revolution, a couple of Molotov cocktails flying around the place, but it was a bit hectic, and then South Africa went through a massive change, and I moved to London and studied in London. Many things happened, and so basically after that I got into fashion, the fashion industry, and I moved to Australia. And
you worked for Esprit?
I worked for Esprit. I was operating out of Hong Kong for about 12 years, and I was head of I was part of the creative team for Esprit Australia.
And then I know from our many discussions, you eventually had your own apparel brand and moved to California.
Sure.
Right?
Yep. I had. What happened was Esprit. They got divorced. Doug and Susie got divorced, and it was a good opportunity for me to leave Australia after having a fantastic time there. And then I came to LA. I actually went skiing in Colorado for a couple of months, and I had a break. And then I started a company in California, and literally out of the back of my car and out of a garage. And I started doing my own shirt brand, which was somewhere between Elvis Presley and Hawaii. We'd go down to San Diego and do a lot of shows. ASR, Action Sports Retailer. And I started opening up accounts, and before I know it, the sun's went down a little bit. Before we knew it, we had 450 clients around the state.
Okay, so Alex, in talking about Black Stallion Hills, we've talked about the famous barbecue. How did that whole thing start?
That's a good question. Well, we always had the horseback riding on the ranch, which was a beautiful thing to do. You just get some horses and you just disappear for 2 hours into the hills, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The ponies are really mellow and relaxed. But the barbecue was an add-on to basically the horseback riding. And
it's become pretty big.
It's become very popular and we're number one on TripAdvisor, which is, a lot of people go, wow, how can these guys be number one? Well, the food's great, the service is great, we're like on it, we look after everybody, we make a great cocktail, and we make sure everybody's terrific. We pick people up, we drop people off. It's a real full in-house service. And it just became super popular, and we got great reviews, and that's how we got to number one.
You guys have a great staff out there.
Yeah.
I know that helps. I want to talk a little bit also about the development. Everyone wants a piece of paradise, and
sure.
I think kind of that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's a great subject.
Your development is very close to Tamarindo, but you're just a touch away, which there's a lot of people who really like that. Maybe you can talk about that.
Well, Tamarindo's got a little bit busy, which is a good thing. It was a fishing village, which became a surf town. From a surf town, it evolved into a shopping destination with a club and a nightlife. It's a very popular place. It's a beautiful place to be. Tamarindo, I put Tamarindo way up there beyond Bali and all these other locations. But basically, if you're thinking long-term and serious about Costa Rica, and especially Guanacaste, you want to live just outside of Tamarindo. You don't want to be inside the hustle and bustle. So that's where we come in with the new road, which is going to be paved within about a month. You're going to get 5 minutes away. You get yourself a perfect little ranch, tropical ranch paradise. You can buy 5,000 square meters. You can buy smaller lots, and you can build yourself a little hideaway home like the sanctuary, and that's what people want. Well, the peacefulness, the tranquility, the privacy, the exclusivity, the fun factor. You know, we've got all those 5 points covered. Basically, you know, you've got the zip line, you've got the green zone, which is the green zone we never touched on. The 12 hectares, which is basically the zip line, the horseback riding, and the barbecue. There's a 12-hectare hilltop, which is always going to be allocated for fun kids activities forever until I'm long gone, eternity, right? So basically, we'll do some mountain biking there, we'll do hikes, we'll do walking trails, zip lining, and the horseback riding, all in that package.
So it's like a nature park. Right?
It's a nature park, and it's a big investment because it's a large piece of land, and it's prime real estate with 360-degree ocean views. So it's a major, it's a commitment from us.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. Well, we welcome you guys to come down here and check out Black Stallion Hills, right next to the lovely town of Tamarindo, our little hamlet by the sea.
Yeah.
And
come and have a barbecue and ride a horse. And
have a barbecue, ride a horse, and hopefully buy a piece of paradise for your very own.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks for coming out, Alex.
You're welcome. Pura vidas. Costa Rica.